I landed on the name of like what I've been working on. Hi guys, it's Sarah. If you missed the last video, I quit my corporate tech job, and this video is special because it's my last week working corporate and also a glimpse into my post-corporate life. So grab your comfort drink, strap in, and let's begin. Also, thank you so much for being here. Hello, it's Monday week that I'm quitting. I'm drafting up my goodbye email. I don't know what the line is between how personal and sentimental you make these emails, because a lot of times I feel like people just write something very corporate like, hey, I'm leaving and this is why, and you can find me here. So I tried to keep it professional, but also, yeah. Hi all, I wanted to let you all know that Friday will be my last day working at Google. After 5+ wonderful years here, I've decided to take a bit of a career gap year. Send. I'm gonna log off for today, and I think tomorrow I'll get some replies back. We'll see. Anyways, Monday work day is over. This is my last week going into the office this week, so I'm kind of sad. Last week of work. So originally I thought my last week would feel so different and monumental. I mean, of course I did get sentimental, but to be honest, it felt like any other week, and also felt like something I've been waiting so long for that I was just going through the motions of my routine that week. And after working for so many years, I feel like my schedule and routine has been ingrained into my head, and almost nothing feels super fresh or new to me. The nice thing about this week though is that my to-dos were really just to wrap up. So I was writing a lot of documentation on my work, handover notes, and things like that. So I got a little bit more time to enjoy the office before my last day. One of the random things I did my last week was also a little tour of the YouTube space with 2 of my coworkers. Ironically, I've never explored this space very much, even though I worked on a sister team and also am a YouTuber, but this was very wholesome and very fun.
Okay, give it, yay!
Yeah, yeah.
It was a secret.
Also, a very random realization I made this last week. I feel like there's a lot of repressed creatives in tech. When I told my team I was leaving, I immediately got a handful of coffee chat requests from teammates who reached out and said that they've been thinking about taking a career leap as well, whether it's to do something like painting or starting their own business. This is something that came as a surprise to me because I've never had this type of conversation about creative stuff and career transitions with my teammates. But the overarching sentiment that I got after several of these chats was, 1, everyone's kind of scared to leave this stability. This is a prime example of golden handcuffs, which is something I struggled so much with the last few years. 2, there's something else less traditionally stable that we all want to do if money and success didn't matter. For some of the people that I talked to, it was the fine arts and creating things. For other people, it was entrepreneurship and starting their own business. But the third thing that I realized is we are all prone to just pushing away burnout. And when I say we, I kind of mean everyone. I feel like everyone struggles with burnout. And the question of, is this all that my life is something that one of my teammates said about corporate life. These types of things I never talked to my teammates about before. And mostly I think it happened because when I was leaving, this was my goodbye email. So in a way, I think I was inviting all the closeted creatives to open up to me because there was no consequence. And I also signaled to them that I was one of them. If this were a sappy video, I would slow down and start commemorating some of our last moments, but it's not one of those videos. Oh, wait. No, stop. Oh. No, but seriously, this was my first big girl job out of college, and not only that, my most formative internship experience as well. There's so many things I've learned about creating systems around my workflows, being a great teammate and manager to interns, setting and meeting expectations, building cross-functional relationships, and just so much that I owe to this company that I'm forever grateful for. Not to mention the amazing people I've met, which I've already said my sappy little goodbyes to, so yeah, thank you. Literally so many tears. So after I quit my job, the first thing that I did was dive into my hobbies and rekindle a lot of my personal life, like seeing friends and family. With my pottery, I jumped into a lot of studio time. Here are some of the things that I made my first month. And also, something that I like to do a lot is think. I am a chronic overthinker, but when it's for something I'm excited about, it gets super energizing and motivating to think about all the projects I want to work on. But I know things do take time, so there's a lot of hypotheticals right now, and it's easiest to feel motivated when I'm not in the trenches yet. At the beginning, though, I think the most challenging part of starting your life over again is laying the framework for what you really want from it. In corporate, it's really easy to have a set plan and know what path you're tracking down. And it's also why it's so hard to leave that, because now I actually feel like I'm the writer to my own story, which is amazing, but also so daunting. Another thing that I've been thinking about with my life is I knew very early on that while it's really great for me to throw myself into art projects and studio time, I also need and want to pave a career path because I want to make something for myself that's long-term, sustainable, and also meaningful. Hi, good morning. I'm using my GoPro camera, which I haven't used in a while because I know some of you guys hate it, but I wanted to give an update because I made a decision this weekend that's really exciting, and I'm starting a small business. It's really weird to say out loud because I haven't set things in motion yet. Like, I've thought about it, I've planned it, but I haven't really put it all together. And I know some people like to hold on to their thoughts and their ideas, but I think the whole point of me sharing my journey is also just to be open about it and like show you guys what I've been going through in real time. And so yeah, that's like the quick update. This has been on my vision board for a while now. Like, I've wanted to start a pottery shop for pretty much a year, ever since I started learning pottery last year and making things. It's just been a pipe dream of mine. Basically, the last month or two, I've been just going into the pottery studio, making things, and then posting a lot of short form videos on Instagram and TikTok. And one of the videos that I've made, which was for a tabby incense holder, let me turn the volume on, went viral, and I got a ton of people like DMing me and asking me to sell it and trying to buy it off of me. So that just seemed like a very natural like segue into starting a small business, which I've already been thinking about a lot. Let me get my tabby so I can show you. Hi. Also, James is back home. You want to say hi?
Cucumber.
I don't think that'll make sense unless anyone follows you on Instagram. James hates cucumbers. This is the tabby. It is a little incense holder, so the bottom's a little bit rough, but I need to clean that up. As it burns, the ash actually drops into this little space and then you can just clean it out. So yeah, I'm working on iterating on these and it's exciting, but I've never sold my ceramics before. I've only ever made it for friends as presents, or like for my parents, I made them a planter for Christmas, but I have not sold my work before, so I'm kind of nervous because I feel like there's a higher standard for quality of work, so I want to make sure the work is actually professional, and I also want to make sure things are perfect. And I think being a perfectionist is gonna suck in this process, but I'm really excited. Okay, how cute this water bottle is. It's just one giant pill. I've been taking it to the pottery studio because it fits so perfectly in my bag. I'm starting to work on my first collection of things for my brand. So it's exciting and also kind of just like all open up in the air because I feel like this is the only thing that people have been asking for. But I want to make my collection very like special and not just a replica of like Pinterest ceramics. And I think like I've just been spending a lot of time thinking about that, and I've been going to the studio a lot actually. I've been posting every single day on my Instagram, which if you guys don't follow me on my Instagram, you should. I feel like in the past I haven't really promoted my Instagram that much because I don't use it. Now that I don't work corporate, I've just been sharing like my thoughts and my like everyday stuff on Instagram, and I feel like there's so much more that I kind of like share in the moment, and I feel like there's more updates that I give. So you guys should follow my Instagram if you're interested. I also post most of my like pottery stuff there, but I'm trying to vlog a little bit more when I go into the studio as well. But yeah, here's my little outfit. I don't know if you can actually see it. I also picked up my journal, which I started journaling different ideas. So just a sneak peek of this in, and then we'll head out. So lately, I've been giving myself a lot of leeway to be imaginative with my life and my career. I feel like growth and evolution is a slow process, and also it requires you to push yourself to try new things, which is what I want to do with this new era of my life. So even though I've been spending a lot of time in the studio, there's a list of things I want to do outside of it, be it photography, designing, hosting pop-ups and workshops, and random things like cooking better. But at least in the art space, I've always felt a little bit like a fraud because I never let myself do art fully. It was always something that I did on the side or something that I was too afraid to invest my time into. So now that I'm in the studio more, I've really been reflecting on what it means to spend most of my day working on physical forms of art rather than in front of a computer. And when I tell you there is so much reflection, growth, and self-work that I've been doing, it is so true that I've been growing so much as a person, and I think this is a particularly meaningful time to me in my life. Yesterday, I was working on creating a logo, which I'll show you. I don't think this is going to be the final logo, but I haphazardly started an Instagram page for it and people started following. So I was like, oh my God, I need a logo, because I had a photo of my ceramics and it looked very dingy. So I just put that up. But I landed on the name When June, which is an homage to my mom. She is the reason that I am a creative person. I spent a lot of my childhood in the basement while she was working late nights, and she's a seamstress. And so I just felt like I learned a lot of my creative soul from her. The brand is also spelled When June, and that's like a mispronunciation of my mom's name. June also has a lot of significance to me because it's the month of my birthday and the month of my dad's birthday. And in our family, we have this really interesting number thing going on with our birthdays where like we share like the same 3 digits. It's hard to explain, but June has a lot of significance for me. And ironically, this was not planned, but I conceived this brand in June. I'm filming this in June. This video might go out in July, but I'm still experimenting. I want to take some time when I do have some free time to just like sit down and draft out a ton of different styles, put together like a mood board of what I want the brand to be like. I do have some Pinterest boards that I've been working on for the last year for a pottery brand, but I don't know. I want to do this right. I think I always force myself to plan out really, really long term how things are going to be, which is a detriment because I think I end up in these little existential crises where I don't know what like the long-term vision of this is. But I think for this brand, When June, I want to do other creative things with it, not just handmade ceramics, but yeah, I guess we'll figure that out as the ball rolls. But in the meantime, I've just been going into the studio. I also made a cowboy boot the other day. It's really cute. I think it's actually cuter than the tabby, but I know people like tabbies. So anyways, I'm rambling. Wanted to just give that quick update. There will be more updates about the small business as we develop. But yeah, I'm so excited to share this. Last thing, the audio stopped recording here, but I promise you guys more moose in this next chapter of my life. So here you guys go. Hope you guys have an amazing week ahead, and I'll see you next week.